Welcome back to Illini Drive. Good evening, everyone. I'm Josh Pietsch, joined alongside, finally back with Gabby Hajduk. I feel like we say this all the time, but we haven't done a show together, Gabby, in like 2-3 weeks.
This semester's been wild for me. I'm just never here. I was up in Michigan last week, the entire week. Got to cover the Illinois-Michigan game, which was incredible, and then stayed with my friend up there for a couple days. So yeah, I haven't been here in a while. I don't know. I'm so busy lately. I'm ready. I need a break.
Definitely sounds nice to get away with it. I think I might have done 3 shows last week. I don't really remember. It was pretty busy with all the basketball and stuff, but you were gone. So Nathan, Brendan, and I really took care of things, but I love being on the show, so nothing wrong with that. But so a little bit, I don't know if it's news, but something we usually don't talk about is the Illinois women's basketball team. Gabby, I know that you're very familiar with them. Big fan of Nancy Faye. They played in the play-in game today, right, and defeated Wisconsin. You want to talk about that for a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, Nancy Faye has never won a Big Ten tournament game in her career so far. And I'm just looking on Twitter right now, some pictures that looked like she got the old Brad Underwood treatment and got, like doused in water, whatever, Gatorade, whatever they had. I'm so happy for them. I think they're probably the most deserving group of people, most deserving sport on this campus. They work so hard, and I know Nancy Faye has worked tirelessly the past, 3 years to even just get a win in the Big Ten tournament. Obviously, Wisconsin's, the worst team in the Big Ten, but a win's a win. Usually, they still lose those games. And so, I don't know. And it was a convincing win. It was 67-42. That's not just a win. That's a beat down. And that never happens with the women's basketball team.
I'm just looking at the box score because I wasn't watching because I had class all afternoon. They won the first quarter 24-2.
They went on a 17-0 run.
Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, that's so impressive. Again, it's one thing for them, for Wisconsin to be off or whatever, but for them to just take advantage. That's the thing is usually with the women's basketball team, they never, take advantage of when other teams are in slumps. And then when they get in slumps, it's the other team puts up 30. So I'm very proud of them and I'm very excited for them. I do want to look a little closer at the box score. I mean, they won every quarter but the third.
You mean the second? Lost the second one 10-8.
No, they didn't. They won it 10-8. Thought they did. Either way, really good game. I mean, they jumped out to an early lead, again, taking advantage of Wisconsin just struggling. And I don't know. I think I hope this is, a consistent thing for the women's basketball team. I truly do think, they're literally so deserving of it. Yeah, I mean, Aaliyah Nye went, crazy. She put up, I can't find the stats.
17 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds.
Yeah, and she's a freshman. So her career high was 17 points. So I don't know. It's just very nice to see. It's very nice to see, them clicking and working together. Me and Brendan talk about this a lot. There's a ton of, individual talent on that team. It just, hasn't come together yet. And I think, last year they had a completely different playing style without a true college big. And so now they have Eva Rubin and, it's an adjustment. But I think next year will be a very big year. It needs to be a big year for the women's basketball team because they're not losing any huge players. They still have Janiyah Ephraim next year. She'll be a senior. You have the trio of sophomores with Jada Peebles, Kennedy Miles, Janae Terry, who Janae Terry has just been on a tear this season. And then you have this freshman class, Aaliyah Nye, Aaliyah McQueen, who have come in and really just settled into some good roles. And then obviously Eva Rubin has another year. So yeah, I think next year could be, a bit of a turning point for the program. It needs to be, I think. Josh, we were just talking about this, just when is it really time for Nancy Faye, what's the timeline? I think if you can't physically see the improvement in wins and just in competitiveness in games next year, I do think there's not much more you could do, but I think next year has to be the turning point, and I think it will be. I feel maybe the end of the season, they obviously ended it regular season with a win against Minnesota. and then, winning today against Wisconsin. And who do they play next? Do we know?
Northwestern, 5 seed.
Ooh, Northwestern's very good. So
Northwestern's good, yeah.
That will be a tough game, but again, I don't know. Very nice to see them get a win. Very nice to see Nancy Faye get her first Big Ten tournament win.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the box today. Kennedy Miles, double-double, 12 and 11. I'll be honest, because Gabby and we were just talking about this before. I have a few guys in my house that are big on both Illinois basketball and women's basketball because one of the guys, Mitch Glass, is a manager on the women's team. And not him, but other guys were saying, Nancy Faye's got to go. Nothing's changing here. But we were talking, she inherited literally nothing. Or I just compared it to Kansas football, one of the worst Division I programs. And now it sounds to me what you're saying is they're changing up their system. They're really young and they have a really good recruiting class coming in.
Yeah.
So hopefully for them, like you said, next year could be not a ton of fun, not as much fun as the men's team is having, but hopefully a competitive year where do you think that maybe they could look at a tournament spot next year or
no,
not there yet?
No, maybe NIT, but I just think you're looking next year to be more competitive and win a few more games. Nothing crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it takes time, obviously. Nancy Faye knows that and Josh Whitman knows that. So.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know. I think next year definitely has to be a turning point, but we'll see.
Man, that first quarter, 24-2 to start the game. Holy moly. That's in 10 minutes. Jeez. They allowed one basket. I think it was a basket. I don't even know. I wasn't watching it. Free throws, 2 free throws or one basket in 10 minutes.
And put up 24. Wow.
Good for them.
Good for them.
Awesome for them. Maybe they'll shock the world and beat Northwestern tomorrow. Who knows?
That'd be so fun.
It'd be fun.
I would be so excited.
I really want to know who the one Big Ten team is that doesn't have a women's basketball team. It's really bothering me. Because you look at the bracket and it's 13. That's what 13, we were talking about right before. It bothers me because obviously this 12-13 game was that there was no 11-14 game or anything like that.
Yeah, so it was the playing game. Okay, let's see. Maryland, Michigan, Michigan State, Indiana, Rutgers, Iowa, Purdue, Indiana, Penn State, Northwestern, Nebraska, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois. Who's missing?
All right, let's go through it again in just a second.
I'm trying to go through by state. So from left to right, Minnesota, Iowa.
All right, go. So do it.
Nebraska. Oh, no, Nebraska.
Does Ohio State have a team?
That's it. Good one, Josh. That's weird.
My brain works quick with sports in Big Ten schools.
That's so weird. Wait.
How does Ohio State of all schools, did they not qualify because of COVID or?
Let's look.
What's going on there, Ohio? Yeah, we'll talk about Ohio State in a different league in a minute. Man, poor Ohio State. They don't have a women's team. They keep losing in men's basketball.
Women's basketball.
Never thought I'd say poor Ohio State in my life.
Big Ten. There's no explanation.
They just don't have a team?
No, they have a team.
Okay.
But they're... Oh, a self-imposed postseason ban.
There it is.
There we go.
There it is. The Oklahoma State of women's basketball. Except for Oklahoma State's going to be in the tournament, by the way.
Self-imposed.
Didn't Auburn do that? I think Auburn did that, too. Bruce Pearl. Dude's a scum. Yeah, Ohio State was ranked 22nd for women's. I was going to say, I know that they're a good team.
I swear, I know. Yeah, self-imposed postseason ban as a result of recruiting violations by a former assistant coach.
Interesting.
That sucks.
Yeah, that does suck. But hey, they probably deserve it, honestly.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, if you're doing shady stuff and you get caught doing shady stuff,
exactly.
It's nobody's fault but your own. Interesting. Well, glad we figured that out.
All right, well, Illinois women's basketball tomorrow, Northwestern. Gonna watch. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I definitely have to be better about watching women's basketball. As busy a schedule I have, I got to fit that in tomorrow.
Yes.
All right, well, moving on to what we continuously talking about here. Illinois had a pretty good week last week in men's basketball, wouldn't you say, Gabby?
Pretty good. Yeah, I would say
not too bad.
Decent,
2 wins on the road, second best team in the country, 7th best team in the country. Not too shabby for our old Fighting Illini.
I agree.
Yeah. No, watching, I mean, we've said it, watching Michigan felt surreal. right? Like
Yeah.
going up almost 30 with 8 minutes left or whatever it was.
Yeah, I was just sitting there watching it just like in awe. I was like, this does not feel like it's actually happening right now. Because they were just like, you could just tell who the better team was in that moment from the tip. Like, I still think Michigan's a really great team, and I wouldn't count on Illinois beating them again. But not that I wouldn't, like, I think it's possible, but I don't think, like, I don't know. I think they're definitely, like, very level with each other. I think Michigan's still amazing. But no, that was a surreal game. And then, Ohio State, another, like, really close, hard-fought game.
Yeah,
but
my type of game. The close grinder game to the end.
An Illinois-esque game, like, down to the wire. Michigan was just weird.
It was just
that was a weird
basically
game.
After the first 11, 12 minutes of the game, Illinois was just in complete control.
Yeah.
They were in control in the beginning, too, but just complete control after that. You go on that little run to end the half, and then trade baskets beginning of the second half. I think Zeke Smith hit a 3. Then after that, Adam Miller, Trent Frazier, Kofi Cobra, everyone, man. Like,
it just went crazy.
It was insane. It was, like I said, it felt surreal. Like I remember I watched the Michigan game in the same spot I watched the Iowa game, and we win that game, and everyone freaks out.
Yeah.
Where Michigan, which is an even bigger win for sure on the road, we're all kind of just like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow. Like, I went up to my room after that. I didn't even celebrate. Like, it felt insane. Like, I didn't even post on my Snapchat story. It was so,
It definitely felt like very surreal. It was weird. It was just a weird game.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think there was an extra fire, like, without Io being there, because somebody had to step up, and it was the whole team. And that was the only way they were going to win, was if the whole team stepped up. You know what I mean? And so, I don't know. I think that's definitely something to be very proud of. But, you can't get complacent. And I think the biggest thing that I loved hearing from Underwood after that game in the press conference was someone had asked, like, oh, is this, like, the best win you've ever been a part of? And Underwood was like, no. I will never say a regular season win is the best win. I think
people forget that he won like 2 12-5 games.
Yeah. And it's not even, it's just the fact that no regular season game is as important as any postseason game. Like, that's great. And, like, again, like, that Michigan game had a major, like, hopefully 1 seed implication. So it's great to win. But, like, I definitely was getting a little frustrated just by people like, oh my God, this is like this is the best, like, whenever. Like, it's just simply not. Like, you have to still show up in the Big Ten tournament and show up in the NCAA tournament. Like, if you don't show up in those tournaments, the Michigan win means literally nothing.
I would also argue that I'd be a little bit more proud of the Ohio State win, because something that I always say to my friends is, I remember it was the at Nebraska, which ended up going to overtime, I think, right? And they're like, oh, it was going to be a blowout. Like, one of my friends likes to gamble. He's like, oh, I'm taking Illinois minus 14.5 or whatever. And the thing that I continuously say, I don't know if I've said this to you before, it's a red team on the road. It's a red team on the road. Color red in their jersey in a road game. No matter who it is, no matter what, I get worried for Illinois. Now, like, look at the games they've played, right? At Nebraska, went to overtime. At Indiana, went to overtime.
Yeah.
They didn't get to play at Maryland, but, like, they lost to Maryland at home this year. Like, those red teams scare me. So, anyways, when they beat Indiana in overtime, I was shocked. I was like, I can't believe Illinois won that game. Like, I've watched so many games like this. I've sang this song before. They're going to lose, and they won. I felt the exact same thing for Ohio State. And that's what proves to me that this team is just a little different.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, like, you definitely, when you think Illinois basketball, you feel like, oh, they're going to let me down again. And that's how I've kind of been acting this entire year. And, they're letting me down less and less. And obviously there were some rough losses near the beginning of Big Ten play, but those don't matter when you're playing your best basketball in March. And if you're playing your best basketball in November, December, you're screwed. Like,
Baylor vibes.
Yes. Like, I still think Baylor's really good. But
me too. Yeah.
But now's the time to play your best basketball. And so I think that, like, that middle of the season stuff doesn't really matter. Like, it comes down to this. Like, the regular season does not matter anymore. It's like, okay, great. You did well to end the season. That's amazing. But, like, for a team like this and a team like this who has bigger goals and can actually achieve those goals. You know, everyone wants to win an NCAA championship, of course, but like when you have a team like this who can actually do that, the regular season doesn't matter. And so now it's, you know, all focused on the Big Ten tournament first and hopefully getting that 1 seed and, you know, making a run. And I don't know. I definitely think this team is special. I definitely think I've like loosened my like grip on the fact that I don't think they can do anything. They've impressed me lately. And, you know, Andre Curbelo has really impressed me. Kofi Coburn has really impressed me. Like, just the maturity from guys who usually aren't that, like, an age group that's not that mature. Like, it's impressive. And I think that all comes down to, like, Underwood.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. So the last thing I want to ask before we go to break is, because I know my answer to this question for sure, does the win at Ohio State, look like, no matter what happens in the Big Ten, does it lock up a 1 seed for Illinois?
No.
So I actually disagree with you. I strongly disagree.
Really?
Yeah.
I still think you need to go in and at least, like, get to the finals of the Big Ten tournament.
Finals? Whoa. I think that even if they lose in the 7-10 game, assuming it's not a 40-point blowout, 1 seed locked. Who could take them?
I don't know. I don't think it's over till it's over type of thing.
Very interesting. I think it's over. I think that the 1 seeds are not changing. A lot of people bring up what if Iowa wins the Big Ten tournament, but I think Illinois beat Iowa and Michigan destroyed Iowa earlier this year.
Yeah, but like you know, every game matters, and it's like, again,
every game
like,
does matter.
If you can't show up in the postseason, then like if you can't show up in your conference tournament, then like I don't know. I think that's telling. I think they're like 99% there.
I think that they have a 1 seed locked up.
I hope they do.
I don't think the 1 seeds are changing. I think it's over. Gonzaga, Baylor, Michigan, Illinois. But then if Illinois wins the Big Ten tournament, they'll jump Michigan for the 3.
Yeah.
But that's it. I think that's all that can change. 1 and 2 are locked up unless Baylor somehow doesn't win the Big 12. But I know Kansas has like 2 guys that are missing, and I don't trust Texas Tech. And
no,
it's weird for me to say, actually. I love Texas Tech, but I don't trust them to beat Baylor.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I would say it's still like, again, like there's still, I would say, like a 1% chance.
I wonder what Simberg would think.
I think he would agree with me.
I think he'd agree with me. Interesting. All right, well, we're going to take a little break here. When we get back, the Big Ten handed out some awards today. We'll talk about those. That's next on Illini Drive. Welcome back to Illini Drive this morning. Not this morning. Or yeah, it was this morning. Yeah. I think it was 11 via their Twitter page. That was kind of weird. The Big Ten.
It was so annoying.
The Big Ten released their awards. In my opinion, extremely weird. But it is what it is, Big Ten. We have him anyways. Player of the Year went to Luka Garza. I guess no surprise there. Defensive Player of the Year was Daryl Morsell from Maryland. We'll talk about that. I have some words to say about that. Freshman of the Year, Hunter Dickinson. Sixth Man of the Year in Illini, Andre Curbelo. And the Coach of the Year went to Juwan Howard. First team, as selected by the coaches, that's what's on the Big Ten website, is Kofi and Io, both. Io was unanimous. Luka Garza was unanimous. And then E.J. Liddell and Travion Williams. Second team, Trace Jackson Davis, Joe Wieskamp, Hunter Dickinson, Isaiah Livers, and Franz Wagner. And then third team was Marcus Carr, Aaron Henry, Dwayne Washington Jr., Ron Harper Jr., and Demetric Trice, with the all-honorable mention team being Trent Frazier from Illinois, Jordan Bohannon, Eric Ayala, Aaron Wiggins, and Geo Baker. All freshman team, Andre Curbelo, Keegan Murray, Hunter Dickinson, Zach Edey, and Jaden Ivey. Obviously, Curbelo's an Illini. Defensive team, Trent Frazier. Good job, Trent. Just got to applaud you there.
Yeah.
There are Marcel, Aaron Henry, Jamari Wheeler, and Miles Johnson. So the first thing I feel like we need to talk, Gabby, about is the Player of the Year award. It went to Luka Garza. Do you agree with it, or yes or no?
Let's unpack this.
Let's unpack.
Io doesn't miss those games. He's Player of the Year.
Are you sure?
In my opinion. I think it's hard when Luka Garza obviously like dominated every night, most nights. It's like Luka Garza deserved it. Like, I'm okay with him winning it because he is deserving of it. Yeah. I mean, he's the most dominant, one of the most dominant players in college basketball, if not the most dominant. But in my opinion, I think Ayo Dosunmu has made a bigger impact this season. And I know the argument. He missed 3 games and they won all 3 games without him.
That's I wouldn't say it in that voice. That's an extremely fair argument. Because one of those games was the biggest game all year.
Why they won those 3 games without him? Because he was right on the bench and he was helping them in practice. He had them fired. I'm sorry. They don't win. This is not against any of the other players' talents, any of their abilities. You don't have Ayo Dosunmu behind you and you don't have his... I just think his presence goes beyond the court.
All right.
And I think that should they have... It's hard because I know, like, the Michigan win was, like, a blowout. And that feels like, oh, like, Ayo's not that valuable. But, like, if you don't have that fire in you of winning it for Ayo and going out there... Because I don't know if you read Derek Piper's story this morning, but he went, like, he talked with the Dosunmus. He went on an inside look on, like, these past couple of weeks with the injury. And I guess Ayo thought he was going to be cleared for Michigan. So that's why he was on shoot around, and last minute, like, not last minute, but the doctors pretty much said, no, you're not playing. Like, you don't have the green light. So, like, they went into Ann Arbor thinking that he had a chance to play. He doesn't, and he... he had like this big talk with the team and was just like, go out there and win it for me. Not saying that that's the sole reason they won because they all looked great, but like, if you don't have that fire lit under you from him and you're not playing for something bigger than like just the team in that moment, like, I truly don't believe they would have gone out there with the same type of energy they did. That's why they won, is because they had incredible energy. They were ripping the ball, like they were grabbing the boards, like offensive rebounds, like they were hustling to everything. I don't think you win that I don't think you go out there and play like that without that bigger reason looming over you. And that's why I think his impact just goes beyond the court, and it goes beyond him being on the court and having those closing shots. Like, we all know why he was in the running for Player of the Year. It's because he's amazing, and he's an amazing basketball player. But to me, his presence and his impact just goes way beyond. And to me, that says more about a player than putting up 25 points a night like Luka Garza did.
So I'll say this. I agree with you that if he wouldn't have missed those 3 games and the results the same, 2 wins and then a big win over Michigan, I would have given it to Ayo. But that being said, he did miss those 3, and on top of the fact that they won, I'm just going to say it. I think the Big Ten got it right. I'm sorry. I'm the biggest Illini and Ayo fan in the country, in my opinion, and I think that the Big Ten got it right. I 100% why Luka Garza got it. And if you look at, the Big Ten Player of the Year means what? Like, this obviously isn't the exact definition, but which player is the most important to their team winning games? And in my opinion, if Luka was not on Iowa and Ayo was not on Illinois, Illinois would have been better than Iowa this year. And I don't think it would have been close. That's just my opinion, looking at their roster. Like, I know Wieskamp's amazing. Hey, he might be out for the tournament. Do you hear that? That's kind of a big deal. They have Bohannon, they have Friedrich. Believe me, they're very talented. Yeah. But
it's upsetting. That makes me upset.
But I still think that the Big Ten got it right. I mean, how many bad nights did Luka have? I'm not saying Ayo did, but like, Luka is just such an impressive player. Like, I can tell you that if I were this passionate about Iowa basketball as I am Illinois, I would probably think it's a no-doubter Luka.
Yeah, but you have to think beyond points. Like,
I know.
Obviously, like, Luka Garza isn't going to dish out like a crazy number of assists, but like, Ayo literally averages just about the same rebounds as him.
I know.
And then he goes and does it, like, puts out the assist numbers, is incredible on defense. Like, sure, Luka Garza is a good defender, but like, he's not anywhere near like, oh my God, like, you're like special. Like, I just think like you have to look beyond just like the baseline of production, and you have to. And I understand that that's not really how these awards go. And I think, like, I looked a little too deep and I look a little too past, like, just the basketball aspect, which is, like, again, I'm not saying Luka Garza did not deserve this. I'm okay with like him winning it. It's just I do think if Io played those 3 games, we might be having a different convo.
I agree. Yeah, but he didn't, right?
Exactly. So again, I'm okay with it. It's not like Luka Garza didn't deserve it. It's not like they just gave it to someone just because like he was as deserving as Io was. I'm not saying he wasn't. I just think I wish these awards did look a little beyond just the baseline stats. And that's all I'm kind of getting at.
In my opinion, now obviously this doesn't have to do with today's awards. And I know I just said I think the Big Ten got it right, but I will not be pleased if Io does not win National Player of the Year. And I know that sounds very weird considering everything I just said.
But I know what you're saying.
But like, I really think that Io is the National Player of the Year. Like, even if he's not the Big Ten Player of the Year, he might be. I don't know, but he didn't miss any games besides those 3. And like, look at his clutch gene. I mean, if you're talking importance, like, every like, how many clutch shots is he gonna hit every single game? Like, he had a dagger against Ohio State, and people aren't even talking about like he had the last 5 points.
So
it was the and one, which was not a charge to all Ohio State fans that think that was a charge. That was not a charge at all. And then the 2 free throws. Yeah. Like,
no, he's incredible, and he does it every night, and it's normal now. Like, you don't.
It is normal.
We don't talk about it because it's normal.
It's expected. Like his last,
which is insane.
His last shot at State Farm Center, that Northwestern shot. Like,
yeah, like he's just like he always gives you the chance to win.
He does,
and I think that he's different than any other player because he's so complete. You know, he went to the offseason. NBA scouts said, "You don't have a shot. You don't defend well enough. You know, you don't rebound enough, whatever it was. You don't go left enough. You know, you don't have enough different kinds of finishes." Like, he went in and improved everything.
He did. He's such a complete player now, isn't he?
He's an underrated defensive player. I mean, if Trent Frazier, like, is on the bench or, you know, he's out or whatever, like, Io guards the best player. And sometimes he guards the best player down the stretch of games.
Oh, I still think that if they play Gonzaga, it's not going to be Trent on Suggs. I think I was going to cover Suggs.
Yeah. And then you have him rebounding the heck out of the ball. I mean, he is always down there, always following the shots. Like, the way he makes every teammate better, like his assists. And it's just like, he makes everybody better. He sets everybody up for better shots. And like, he isn't selfish. He's literally the most complete player and teammate you would ever want on the court. And I think that's why he is National Player of the Year. Like, you can't find another player like him.
Definitely hard to disagree with you. I'm sorry, we got to move on though because we're a little short on time here. The other one I really wanted to talk about, everything else I think they got right. I think the first team, second team was fine. All that. How the heck did Franz Wagner not get Defensive Player of the Year and not even get on all defensive team?
I have no idea.
I know Brandon was tweeting about it. I'm totally with him. I think that he was the clear Defensive Player of the Year, and he didn't even get on all defensive team. How's that possible?
I don't know.
Like, what are these guys looking at here? That makes me question every single award they gave out.
Yeah.
Like, his plus minus and his defensive efficiency rating is, like, historically good. And he didn't even get on the all defensive team. Yeah. They put Aaron Henry and Jamari Wheeler on there instead of him, I think. That shocks me.
I really don't know. Like, it's so weird because he's incredible. He's an incredible defender. Yeah. Michigan on their own is one of the best, if not the best, next to Illinois. Like,
he was the best defender on, I think, maybe the best defensive team.
Yeah.
Illinois is probably better at them defensively, actually, but the second, but yeah.
One or two, you know, like, you can make a case for either, I think. But yeah,
so weird.
I don't know. I also think if it wasn't going to be Franz, then it needed to be Trent. I don't agree with.
I agree. I thought Franz and Trent were 1, 2. I think more.
I feel like he's 3.
I think Marcel's great, but
I don't know. I don't think anybody like respects Trent like they should. I'm glad he finally made an all Big Ten defensive team, like, because last year he didn't, which was ridiculous. But I just don't think he's respected enough, like, because he again doesn't have like the raw stat numbers. You know, he doesn't have like the crazy steal, you know, like. But you can't deny that he goes out there every night and makes it difficult for the team's best player. Like, I don't know, like he's just insane, and I think he doesn't get enough credit. So I'm happy he finally made all defensive team. But yeah, the one thing I don't agree with is the Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah. All right. Last thing before we go to break. First team, both the media and the coaches had Kofi, Io, and Luka. Brandon didn't put Kofi on his first team, did he? Come on, Brandon. But so the coaches had EJ Liddell and Trevion Williams. Then I believe the media had, instead of those two, Trace Jackson Davis and Hunter Dickinson, correct?
Trace Jackson Davis being all Big Ten first team it's
comical, right?
Is like, should be illegal.
Okay, good. So I completely agree with you there.
Same with Hunter Dickinson. He's incredible, but there are.
So I was going to say, I agree with the coaches list. I think Liddell and Trevion is perfect.
Yes.
Trevion Williams
also
is good.
agree. I think not putting EJ Liddell on there is a crime.
Well, also, we only see him against Illinois, which is when he has career games every single time. But that being said, he's a good player.
Really good.
Yeah, he's dominant. He should have been in Player of the Year running, in my opinion.
And Ohio State as a whole was incredible, and he was one of the biggest parts of that. So it's I 100% agree with the coaches, and it's this is the problem, is all these so-called experts and, these big guys, these big analysts, they don't look past the baseline stats. That's the problem. Is for these type of awards, you can't even get mad because you have to sit back and think about, these analysts don't pay attention to these teams as close as, we do, and as close as the coaches do and the play. It's just I don't know. I think sometimes having these big name, these big time analysts, these big time guys making these selections, they don't look past those raw numbers.
Yeah.
And that's where you find, EJ Liddell was huge this year. Trevion Williams was huge this year. Trace Jackson Davis really wasn't that impressive this year.
He underperformed.
He was good.
He'll get drafted. And he'll be a good NBA player.
But he
underperformed.
He wasn't as impactful.
I feel
as he should have been.
The media put who was speculated to be on there just because of name recognition, where the coaches actually knew who was performing best. I totally agree with the coaches. All right. Very last thing. Does Juwan Howard deserve Coach of the Year?
Yes.
Yes, he does. All right. Good.
But you can definitely make the argument for Underwood.
Absolutely. It's not even close. And then Matt Painter, too. Matt Painter had to have been second or third. Yeah. All right. Taking a little break. When we get back, I think we're just going to preview Big Ten tournament. Yeah. That's next on Illini Drive. All right. Wednesday, I believe, kicks off the Big Ten tournament. Couple of playing games that I admittedly
will not be watching.
I take it back. Actually, I definitely am going to watch them. I actually set time aside to do so. 14.
I do actually want to watch the Minnesota Northwestern game.
So we'll start with that one then. 12-13 game. I believe Minnesota's the 13, and Northwestern's the 12. How did that happen? Who do you like?
Northwestern.
I also like. No, I like Minnesota here. I like Minnesota.
No, give me Northwestern, man.
I like Minnesota. I like Minnesota a lot here. Yeah, I like Minnesota. Nebraska, Penn State.
Gross.
Yeah.
That I will. I'm sorry. I know I should. I'm not watching that game.
Boo.
Boo. I don't know. I've no opinion. I have never had less of an opinion in my life.
All right. Well,
I'd probably go Penn State.
I would be extremely happy for Fred Hoiberg, who I personally am a big fan of.
Are you going to say you personally have a big crush on him?
That too. But that being said, I'm still going to take Penn State.
Your man crush.
All right.
I respect it.
Now into the Thursday games. I think I'll probably watch all of them. I definitely don't have time for that, but I'll make sure I do. We'll just go as the day goes on. 10:30. That's an early start.
Ew.
Who plays a game at 10:30? Whatever. Michigan State, Maryland. In my opinion, a really good game.
Yeah.
Who do you like?
Probably Michigan State.
Yeah, me too.
But I think it'll be close.
I could definitely see. I mean, Turgeon beats teams. Let's be clear. These are last year. These were the two best coaches in the Big Ten.
I think it'll be a good game. I don't see Tom Izzo losing, though.
I totally agree. 100% agree.
Yep.
All right. You have Northwestern Ohio State. I have Minnesota Ohio State.
Either way, it's Ohio State.
So I think that Minnesota can make this one close. I know Northwestern actually beat Ohio State earlier this year, but I think that Minnesota could keep this one close for a half, and then Lydell will be Lydell, and Washington will be Washington, and Ohio State will win by like 10.
True.
All right. Indiana versus Rutgers. We'll keep in mind, for those that don't know, the winner of this game will play Illinois, who's the 2 seed. Who do you like, Indiana or Rutgers?
Probably Indiana.
I also like Indiana.
Look at us, Josh.
I really like Indiana. I've been saying this for a day or two. I really like Indiana in this game.
I do too.
Because let's talk about this for a second, though, just because it's Illinois' opponent.
Yeah.
I don't want to play Rutgers at all because, Ron Harper Jr. doesn't miss against Illinois.
Yeah.
But it's really, really hard to beat a team 3 times in 1 year, let alone 2. Both games were close.
I agree.
I feel like either way, I'm not going to be comfortable, no matter which way it goes. But I do personally think Indiana's going to find a way to pull this one off, even though little Archie is on the hot seat in Bloomington. Archie. Oh, sorry. That's what I call him. He's small. He's like 5'8" or 5'10".
Yeah, no, I think Indiana will get this one.
Look at us. Doesn't happen very often.
Crazy. I know. We never.
All right. Penn State versus Wisconsin. Yeah, I don't even think it's much of a discussion, honestly.
Okay, so we have the same final 8.
We do.
Which is
pretty cool.
Michigan State, Michigan, Ohio State, Purdue, Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin, Iowa.
All right, so we'll start up top. Michigan State versus Michigan for the 3rd time in like 9 days or something like that.
Definitely Michigan. Oh, no.
All right.
I don't like that look, Josh.
All right. I'll start by saying that I am taking Michigan.
Okay.
But
no, don't get
this is going to be the game of the tournament in my eyes. I think that this is going to be an extremely I'm sorry, the game of the round. The game of the round. Okay. Yeah, the game of the day, that is Friday.
Okay. Yeah.
This is going to be such a good game.
Yeah.
I think that this is going to be such a good game.
I mean, Michigan State's not going to go down without a fight.
No
way.
I don't think it's going to go to overtime, but I just know Aaron Henry and Michigan State and Joshua really Langford, who's you can tell is like on a revenge track here from all his injuries. I don't know. I really think that Michigan's barely going to pull this off. Like, I'm not going to be surprised at all if Michigan State wins this one.
I would agree. I do think Michigan pulls it out, but I think this could definitely be like that, like the first upset, I would say.
Yeah.
Like the first big upset.
Yeah. All right.
I would agree.
So we're both taking Michigan, but I'm telling you, I've thought a lot about this.
Yeah, I'm very excited for the game. Why is that the early game? They want me to get up on 10:30 at 10:30 on a Friday?
I'm doing it.
I don't have class on Friday.
I'm doing it. Okay.
Yeah. Ohio State, Purdue. Another really good game.
Jeez.
I would probably go Ohio State still. I think they've fallen a bit in the last week, and they're coming back.
You know how I told you I looked at Michigan State for like 2 hours? I'm still thinking about this one. I've gone back and forth on this game like 9 times. I just can't decide who I'm going to win or who do I think is going to win.
I don't think Purdue's that good.
I agree with you. And when you and I think alike on this, we're usually right.
Yeah.
Like Wisconsin.
We were so right. We were so right.
We were so right about Wisconsin.
And you know what? We were so right before it was even freaking
We were
cool.
so right about them.
Yeah.
100% Brandon, 7th in the country. Miss me with that. Wisconsin should never be in the top 25 again.
No.
All right. Gabby, I really don't know about this game. Like, I'm lucky we have time because I really don't know about this game. Like,
what are you conflicted about?
What, Ohio State and Purdue?
Yeah, like
Purdue's been playing really well lately.
I know you like Matt Painter.
Matt Painter in March is like comparable to his own March in my eyes. Like I know, okay, not as much, but Matt Painter is such a good coach, and Purdue's playing really well. Like the 7'4" freshman has been playing really well. Travion Williams is awesome. Mm-hmm. He is awesome, and they just have a really well structured roster. I don't know. I'm gonna take Ohio State, but I'm not happy about it at all. I'm really not happy about it.
Okay.
I'm more conflicted on this game than I am that 9-1 Michigan State Michigan game, but I don't know. This is just I'll go Ohio State, but like not happy about it. All right. Indiana versus Champaign, Illinois.
Illinois.
Yes.
I don't even.
It's going to be a good game, though.
I hope that's not
It's going to be a really good game.
I agree.
It's going to be an awesome game. I'm very worried about it.
Me
as
too.
an Illini fan.
Seems like a trap.
I call every game a trap game, but yeah. We'll just say Illinois and move on as we make a face. All right. Wisconsin and Iowa. Well, I don't know, Gabby.
What?
Did you not see the game on Sunday?
Wisconsin is so bad.
Does Iowa have Wieskamp? They lost to them by 3 or 4 with Wieskamp for half the game on Sunday. And they just beat them.
Iowa.
I'm taking Wisconsin. For all the slander I've given them.
Wisconsin
Greg Gard, do your thing.
Trash.
If they don't have Wieskamp, I'm taking. If they don't,
garbage.
If Iowa has Wieskamp, I'm taking Iowa.
Wisconsin
but if not,
literally can't play offense.
Iowa has the worst defense in the country.
Wisconsin can't play offense.
Okay, you take Iowa. I'll take Wisconsin.
Fine.
Are we gonna fight? No, I'm kidding. All right, so I'm happy we have a different Final Four here.
Yeah, this is fun.
But by the way, if Wieskamp does play, my prediction changes officially. Okay? Yes, but that being said, I'm taking Wisconsin.
So we're going Final Four. Michigan, Ohio State, Illinois. I'm Iowa, you're Wisconsin.
Yep.
Michigan, Ohio State. Ooh, that's a good game.
It's easy for me. Easy.
What?
No doubt about it. Michigan, for sure.
Okay. I thought you were going to say Ohio State.
No doubt about it. Michigan's going to win by 15.
I'm also going Michigan.
Just so you know, if I would have had Purdue beating Ohio State, I would have had Purdue over Michigan. Just a little fun fact. But no, I'm going
makes no sense, but okay.
Okay, watch when it happens. Watch when Purdue beats Ohio State. I'm changing my prediction. I'm going to go Purdue and then Purdue over Michigan.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm doing it. Yeah.
Okay, so Purdue.
I got Purdue in the final.
Purdue's in the final. Okay. Not me. I'm gonna go Michigan in the final, and then I think Illinois is gonna stomp the crap out of Iowa. To be honest,
I think Illinois is gonna destroy Wisconsin.
Either way, they're stomping the crap out. If they win the Friday game, they're not losing the Saturday
I agree.
game.
Okay, so we both have Illinois winning the final then.
Yes.
Aw, bias. I love bias.
It's not biased if it's
so
just
biased.
Straight facts.
We're so biased, but that being said, I truly believe it. I mean, yeah, Illinois is going to win no matter who it is.
I think it'll be I think Illinois Michigan 2.0 will be a much closer game.
I think Illinois Purdue 2.0 is going to be a lot of fun, but in the end, Illinois is going to just be better.
What if Purdue won?
And I don't know, cry.
Would you really cry?
Yeah, probably.
But but you're rooting for Purdue.
I'm not rooting for them to beat Illinois. Oh. I'm rooting for them to get there.
That'd be cool. I think that'd be fun. Because Illinois would kick the crap out
of
them.
So let's just be clear here. I did change my prediction. I did take Purdue over Ohio State, and then I am taking Purdue over Michigan. Someone's got to beat them. Someone's got to beat them.
Someone's got to do it.
And then I am taking Wisconsin over Iowa, assuming Wieskamp's out. Illinois over Wisconsin, then Illinois over Purdue.
If Wisconsin and Iowa actually do play, can we make a bet?
Yeah, but only if Wieskamp isn't playing.
No. Oh, yeah, because you said you're changing your...
Yeah.
We'll talk.
I think you're underestimating Joe. You still owe me for
I know.
Your
we'll do that Thursday.
Yeah. We'll make another bet on Thursday too.
Perfect.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
All right. I think that'll wrap it up for today. Hey, I'm happy we both have Illinois winning. Not surprised at all. Could have predicted that 3 weeks ago, but you know how it is.
It should be
we're
a
fans.
really good Big Ten tournament.
We're open Illinois fans, but not when we're covering them. Then we're extremely neutral. All right, that'll do it for today. Good show. From Gabby and Josh, this has been Illini Drive.